First of all, we have a piece of the Coliseum floor right by the key. This was a floor on which you scored more than 7,000 points and blocked more than 1,000 shots as a Cavalier.
I think Gordon was always transparent. He always, when I got traded here, he said, okay, if you do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna be rewarded. And he was always transparent. He was involved with the community. He cared about the team, and I had a good experience with Gordon Gunn.
When we were approached by the mayor and the chairman of the county commissioners to move, the compelling reason for doing it was to see something happen for Cleveland, because they were going to lose the Indians if they didn't build a building for the Indians. What we would bring to them that they could really promote was the fact that we had over 2 million people a year coming through our building, and that would all move from Richfield to downtown Cleveland. So it would stimulate a lot of businesses. Fortunately, I think because we agreed to go, and when we did, I said, look, we'll move. We need a first-class, state-of-the-art building. We've got one now. We don't want to move into anything less than we have now, and you can assure us that we can do that. We'll agree to come. It was all on a back of it was a brown envelope that this agreement was written on. I mean, it was all a handshake. And same with the Indians, pretty much. They didn't have a lease either before the referendum passed. But in our case, ours was really pretty basic. And we trusted them, and they us, and it worked out to everybody's benefit. And it was a great building.
Just the fan support was just unbelievable at the old Richfield Coliseum, and when we moved downtown, we followed.
The fans kind of embraced us, even though we were still new and they were still used to Brad and Larry and those guys and Mark. So we had to prove ourselves to the fans that, okay, we're the new generation, and it worked out pretty good.
There's an awful lot of very good people that we had. I mean, certainly Wayne Embry was one of the most important, to be sure.
That's the godfather. I mean, there's nothing like Mr. Wayne Embry. He embraced me, and he told me, he says, I believe in you. And that's what I will always remember, that he believed in me.
I just go back to the start. You know, I would never be here if it wasn't, first of all, for Wayne Embry. He drafted me, and Wayne ended up being more of a father figure to me through my early years and all the struggles. Really took care of me, and if anybody ever met Wayne, they knew what I'm talking about. He was just solid human being. He only spoke when it mattered. He never embarrassed anybody, always treated everybody from top to bottom the same way. And he was really good for me.
Wayne was more, he was my general manager, but he was a good friend. When I got traded, me and him had a good conversation, we had dinner, we talked about certain things, what he expected from me, and we just grew. And I really respect Wayne Embry a lot. Well, when I got traded, I was at Golden State at the time, and then when I got the news I got traded to Cleveland, I'm like, great, I'm gonna play with some Hall of Famers. I got Mark, I got Brad, I got Larry, I got Hot Rod. So when I got to Cleveland, then when the guys started breaking down, they got hurt, blah, blah, and I'm like, okay, now we was forced, me and Bobby and Terrell, to come in and play right away. But I still got a good experience being around those guys, so it was a great feeling.
The Cleveland Cavaliers, is this an obvious need? You got to get big?
You have to get big mainly because Brad Daugherty just retired, and that was a major hole for this basketball team.
I really thought I was going to New York, because New York had 18, 19, and 21st pick. Right in the middle, Cleveland had 20, and I worked out twice for New York and had good workouts and everything else. And for some reason, I came on there. But then, when the picks came in, they took, I forgot who, but took two different players. And, my agent got a phone call right before the pick and said Cleveland's taking, and that was Wayne.
With the 20th pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Zydrunas Ilgauskas from Lithuania.
didn't know anything of the city, didn't know much of a team, didn't know who was on the team. Spent the night and next morning flew into Cleveland, and the rest is well documented history.
That would also be said that I'm no longer the member of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization.
It was just good, we could speak Russian to each other. Culturally, we were similar. So the food and everything else, and his family would come here a lot. So it was good to have somebody from the region where I grew up, and he was just a good guy. He took care of me. I broke my foot in Orlando running. Me and Vitaly were doing conditioning drills in Orlando, doing the rookie camp. We were just running, doing some slides outside on the tennis courts, and I just felt like a sharp pain in my foot. Knew right away. We went back to Cleveland the next day, and the doctors did all the tests, and came back that I broke the same foot that I'd broken in Lithuania before. So, and they scheduled the surgery, and the first season was lost, basically.
A lot of free agents there. And where's Mike Fratello going right now?
Yeah, I think that you have a problem with Cleveland. You have 8 free agents, Ernie, and you're going to lose your 2 guard and your small forward. Both are free agents, meaning Phil's at small forward, and then Bobby Phil's at the 2 guard and Mills at small forward. So right now they could go 2 guard, small forward, or they could also go at the center position because West is a free agent.
With the 13th pick in the 1997 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Derek Anderson from the University of Kentucky, Brevin Knight from Stanford University.
Well, my first reaction was, why did I get drafted so late? I thought I played better. I thought I played well enough to be drafted higher. But once we started to see where things were setting up, then we started to pinpoint Cleveland as being a place that I thought I could have some success. And so luckily it worked out that we passed on a couple of teams and we got down to being able to come here. And the thing that made me excited about being here was the youth that this team had. That meant that we had to go out. It's going to be young guys, and then we may have some veteran guys around us that will allow us to play. But I knew it would be a fun environment for me, and it definitely was.
That was a strange year at first, but it was special because we had so many young players. We had 3 rookies starting, another couple coming off the bench. Sean Kemp first year here.
But I think the main thing is just have a strong year. That'll grab the eye of people out there to make them realize that we have some special talent right here.
Baseline, ball, Sean Kemp with that quick punch on the baseline. Ilgauskas steals the ball. Big guy sailing to the other end. He goes to the hole behind the back and rams it home. Hey, boy, that's got the crowd up.
Already hit 2 threes here. Terrific find.
Florida Brevin Knight, left wing person, measures the 3.
Got it! Here at the gun. Brevin Knight's going to squeeze the trigger. Shot clock. Kemp will have to put it up from outside. And that may be the one that breaks the back of the Pacers tonight.
With Kemp, a lot of people gave him a hard time, but he was the best for all of us young guys because he kept us away from problems that we may encounter down the road. And so I always say I give a lot of credit to him as being a veteran that kind of shaped which way I wanted to go with my career, what to stay away from, what to do. So he was a great influence on us as young guys.
We really kind of had to find our new identity. We were younger, and Mike Fratello, he's a great coach. He holds you accountable, but I'm sure it was frustrating for him at times because he had so many young guys to get it all together.
Mike's really a good guy, right? He's a good X&O guy. I've been around a lot of great coaches with Don Nelson, Larry Brown, but Mike was a different coach. He was one of the kind of coaches, every day he wanted you to play a certain way every night. And I think he was lucky to have me, Bobby, and Terrell, and Jero, some guys who play hard. That's all Mike wanted, to play hard, everything else take care of itself. So it was kind of easy dealing with Mike, yelling all the time, getting off the bench, running down, sliding on the floor, all that stuff.
Coach Fratello was a great motivator. He got it. Coach Fratello got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Gerald and I appreciate about him, that he understood what was going on?
He was more vertically challenged than I was. So we had little men syndrome, where you feel like we all got to continue to fight for everything. And so that fight in all of us led to, there were headbutts. But the one thing I always said about Mike was, you can get into an argument match. I mean, you cursing back and forth at each other, going at it. But at the end of the day, he's going to give you a hug and kiss you on the cheek. Every time. Or the next day you come in, it's over. It was never anything that was lingering. And he allowed you to express what you wanted to express, because he was going to express his feelings. And the one thing I took from him was preparation. Like, there wasn't one thing when we went into a game that we didn't know what the other team was going to do.
There's nothing like being a Cavalier. My daddy taught me what it was to be a Cavalier. And he says, don't ever go down there being not privileged. Always be appreciative of what's going on in Cleveland. And I didn't understand that until I came here.
This is not a city where you come in pumping your chest or, like I always tell guys, like, this is different here. This is not LA, and different in the positive way. I go, you have to work hard, you have to play hard. People will accept losing to some degree if they see you trying and things get better, but they will not accept hard dogging and not playing hard, not working. I said, this is not going to work. I said, because people go to factories, they have life, like they have hard lives. I go, so they're not going to see kids making millions of dollars not trying. So that was, when I played, I always used to tell guys that this is a great city. I said, but they will hold you accountable. You cannot be fake in this city. You got to be true to yourself. And I think they appreciated it. When I missed a shot or whatever, it wasn't the end of the world, or I had a good game or bad game, I would always come back with the same energy and the same effort the next night. I played with emotions on my sleeve, and but bottom line, I tried the hardest, and they were always very, very rewarding, whether, on the streets or anywhere else, millions of times, how is your feet, no matter how sick or tired I was of that, and whether it's helping with one thing, helping with another thing, it's just, it's been a really, really, really good fit. I came in here almost looking for home, because I knew if I was a successful basketball player, I'm going to have to, I'm not going to live in Lithuania for a long time, and my life is going to change. I'm going to have to move on. And I found a home, and the home is not only for me now, for my kids and my wife and my family. So it's just, that's a good ending.